Hi, Derek, Grimdark, Ohio. Just kind of doing an update video. I didn't do one yesterday. Was doing some last minute stuff for CincyCon. Today was day one, Friday. So I expected it to be a little slow. Was a little slower than I expected in some ways. Um, but got some play testing, got some good feedback from people. Uh, got a lot of positive reactions. Even if it wasn't exactly the outcome I was hoping for. But tomorrow is Saturday. It should be much busier. Be a lot more traffic since today a lot of people work and all that. Really, the vendor area shuts down at about 7 o'clock. So if you're working a 9 to 5, that doesn't really give you a lot of time for foot traffic. So I anticipate tomorrow it's going to be a lot different. Already have a few spots kind of set up for tomorrow for play tests. Some folks that I talked to today. Good to hear some like-minded reactions. People that want some of the things that I'm trying to deliver with this game, with this company. So that was really exciting. I have some. These are very, very slightly failures. This guy's got a little tube here. But that's got more to do with supports than anything. But these are the alternate poses for the breachers. If it focus, there you go. And test printed those. So I'm pretty excited that they turned out all right. And in the case of the ones, just adding another small support in between the shoulder part, or maybe the rifle and the tubing. But yeah, they came out great for a first test run. That helps flesh out the mercenary breachers a decent amount, where hopefully that means they'll get some heavier play testing here. And pretty much every faction, except the first, the European Technocracy, has enough models so you don't have to run redundant pieces. So be able to show off some more for playtesting. I don't know how many people are watching this series or interested in this, but shout out to some folks that I met there. I got put right beside a regional shop. I guess more local to that area. I say regional because southern Ohio. They are Heroes Hearth. Scott was a really cool guy. He was nice to talk to. Kind of pointed some folks out that people that know people, kind of thing. People worth tapping on for resources or for playtesting. So I really appreciated that. And just a good dude to talk to. Met some other pretty cool people there, and saw some old familiar faces, some people that I've played other games with. Imperial Assault. Saw a guy I used to play Confrontation with, like, almost 20 years ago at this point. And then met some really neat people. There's one guy that had asked about print services, which we're not really doing. And we kind of went back and forth, because he just needs somebody that can do that. And he doesn't want to buy the models online, yada yada yada. Wants to get it from somebody he knows, so he can kind of see the quality and the sculpt, or the print with the resin and all that. So we kind of knocked it around, and he's a really good painter. So he might do some commission work and like barter for that. So we'll see. But he was a really good painter, and he caught my eye because he had some really old models. He had some. At first, I caught one of the old Troll Bloods from Hordes, and he's kind of laughed and showed me as we were working on one of the Scorn models as well. And looking around, I saw one of the Centaurs from Confrontation, and he had a painted Watcher too, which is I think it's the Watcher, the one of the wolf, and he almost looks like he's like a ninja kind of. He's got this huge like two-handed katana thing that he's like perched up on while he's like looking out, and gorgeous models. So I'm kind of excited about that. I might lean into him. Uh, I've talked with Claudio had given me the suggestion to do some of these models on a bigger scale because these things are just absolutely just dripping in detail. They're gorgeous, and they're 30 something millimeter, sub 40 millimeter. So you could easily double, triple the size of that model or more, and not lose any detail. So that's something that I'm really thinking about doing. A decent sized statue is just kind of a showpiece to catch people's eyes. Interesting the stuff that people reacted positively to. Um, the grubs are still like a huge hit, the biggest hit. Everybody loves those nasty grubs. And then the tech shaman didn't get as much love at the in person as it does online. That's one of the better selling models so far online. Um, but some of the new stuff that isn't ready yet got a decent amount of interest, and it was really there for show. That might have been a mistake on my part because while I do have a huge list of stuff that's available that I'd already had printed and that I really trusted the prints and the supports for, and had really good proven out prints. I did have some things that had like minor failures. So in the case of Malgora, it's got like one of the top piece of like that weird hand face that it's got was messed up, and I sculpted it with some green stuff, and then it's rattle can white, so you just really can't tell unless somebody really pointed it out to you, or maybe once you got to painting it you might notice it. But I did a pretty good job sculpting that in, and that was one that got a few reactions. There's some interest for that, and there was one of the sentries from the European Technocracy, and it's just that I haven't printed them enough to really trust those. Um, so yeah, kind of something to learn from. Maybe don't show off stuff that's in the works or coming, because then it gets people excited for something you don't necessarily have. But that's why you do these things, you learn, right? So Origins in the summer will be the big one. That's showtime for me. Got a lot of suggestions for Adepticon and some of those more like war game focused conventions. Absolutely on my radar for next year. Would love to do the whole gambit, and it's just not reasonable this year. So we'll see where that's at, and hopefully by then there's a little more playtesting that's been done. There's more excitement with the game. Definitely talked to a lot of people that felt the same way I did. Skirmish games, miss simple but deep games. A lot of miss the old Morheim days, miss the old Kill Team days, which I do too. I think those are some of the best games that Games Workshop has ever produced. Warhammer 40K gets a lot of love. The old world used to get a lot of love, and they're good. They're good games, but they're like good enough games, in my opinion. They're there to sell the models. The games themselves just really are unremarkable when compared to other games of their scale or genre. But Games Workshop is always Mordheim and the older Kill Team, like the 2018-2019 version. They just really nailed it on those games. So kind of cool that it wasn't even like one or two guys. Like there was quite a few people that kind of had a similar mindset on that. So it kind of tells me that there's an interest for it. Obviously, in a lot of those cases, I say obviously, but maybe not for everybody. But Trench Crusade was brought up, and how Trench Crusade kind of fills that, but it isn't fully sci-fi future. So that was kind of interesting. That some of the game feel and is there, but not necessarily the theme or the visual side. So yeah, just really great feedback. Really excited for tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow night, if I do another upload like this, it's all excitement, and I'm just spouting off with lots of feedback. I did tell the younger guy that I played one of the play tests with that left me the feedback card, like, hey, you got to leave me some constructive criticism or a bit of negative feedback, because he really was gushing over everything, which felt really good. He loved the lore, and he just loved the gameplay. He's like, man, this is really simple. I'm already understanding it, already figuring out to do some things and how to like move and manipulate the models. And but he did say that even though it made sense to have kind of close quarters melee units, that it might be good to have range units to show off like cover and line of sight stuff a little more, which absolutely makes sense. So even though they're not fully painted, I did bring out the breachers enough to play. I have enough models to play, just not all painted up as nice as the Vase and the Interacts that were specifically made for the play testing. So I'm going to let that be an option for people, especially if it's somebody that's already done like a playthrough and they're interested in playing more than one game, things like that. So yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, also shout out to my buddy Jeremiah. He hung out for a little while, kind of helped me cover the booth a bit, because with today being Friday, my kids are in school, so neither my wife nor my kids could be there for part of the day. So whereas tomorrow, like, my boys are going down with me first thing in the morning, so I'll have my oldest son and my middle son with me, and we'll be just hanging out. They can help me with demos, or they can kind of man the booth and just kind of tell people some basic stuff. They know probably just as much about all this stuff as I do. So um, just really looking forward to another day full of con stuff. If nothing else, it's really refreshing just to be around my own people, being around all the gamer folk, and just talking hobby and games of the past and the future, and just enjoying this hobby. So yeah, till tomorrow.